Good morning, virtual learners. Hope you have a wonderful and healthy morning today. Are you excited to learn another jam-packed lesson for today? I'm sure you do. This is teacher Eileen, delighted and happy to be with you for today's learning engagement, only here at Valenzuela Live. Let me know who my learners are today. For your attendance, don't forget to type or key in the name of your school and your respective section on our comment box. Be reminded to observe the following as we go on our visual class today. Number 1, prepare your learning pocket. It will be quite easy to go along today's lesson if you can follow our module. Number 2, jot down important notes. Number 3, set a respectful tone. Let us refrain from using unnecessary words and comments that are not related to our topic for today. Allow me to present our most essential learning competency for today. Develop an annotated bibliography. We will be using Module 5, written by Carl Season, Master Teacher 1 of Big 9 National High School. Are you ready, grade 10 learners? Then let's jump right in. There is no denying that we are obsessed with movies now more than ever. Thanks to Netflix, Sky Cable, and Disney Channel. So how well do you know the most famous movie lines that have made their mark on Filipino pop culture? Calling the attention of all real film buffs. Put your knowledge to test by answering what movie this line came from. You will be given 5 seconds to write your answer on the comment box after watching the scene. Good luck! Movie number 1.
I deserved an explanation. I deserved an acceptable reason.
From what movie that line came from? A. Starting Over Again, 2014. B. The Breakup Playlist, 2015. 5 seconds to answer. If your answer is A, good job. That's coming along nicely. Movie number 2.
She loved me at my worst. You had me at my best. At pinali mo naman ang lahat yun.
Babae ba talaga yung tingin mo? I just made a choice.
And you chose to break my heart.
The movie catapulted the tandem of Bea Alonso and John Lloyd Cruz and is undeniably an early favorite line among Filipino movies. A. One More Chance, 2007. B. Second Chance, 2015. The answer is A. Impressive. Movie number 3.
My brother is not a pig. My brother is not a pig. Ang kapatid ko ay tao! Hindi pamilya mo! Hindi niya pamilya mo! Ang kapatid ko ay tao! Hindi pamilya mo!
If you like war dramas, then you definitely know this line. Is this from A. Himala, 1982? Minsay Isang Gamo-Gamo, 1976? Type in your answers now. If you answer letter B, you nailed it. You got it right. Movie number 4.
Akala mo lang wala! Pero meron!
This line really captures moviegoers and definitely in even at this time. A. Goyo, 2018? Or letter B, Bata Bata, Paano Ka Ginawa, 1988? If you answer letter B, 2 thumbs up, my dear learners. Famous movie lines presented are still iconic and relevant. There are those that have inspired parody movie or comedy versions of it. Nevertheless, be mindful in posting those dialogues and eventually cite it as your own. Otherwise, you will be charged of plagiarism. To give major key points about plagiarism, let's all watch this video.
Whether you're in the academic, creative, or professional world, plagiarism is all too common. But what is it exactly? According to the Oxford Dictionary, plagiarism is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. Let's say you're writing something for the company newsletter, and you find a great article online that's full of useful information. So you take several parts of that article, change a few words around, and submit it without giving credit to the original author. That's plagiarism, and it can lead to serious consequences. In school, taking credit for someone else's work could mean you fail an assignment or class, or face disciplinary action. In the workplace, it could result in damage to your reputation, legal repercussions, or even losing your job. Even if you accidentally do it, such as forgetting to cite a source or misquoting someone, it can quickly get you in trouble. Luckily, we know a few strategies that'll help you avoid plagiarism. First, always cite your sources. Showing where you found your information gives credit to the original authors and helps reinforce the legitimacy of your content. If you're quoting from a source, always quote the source's exact words. When inserting one into your work, place quotation marks around it, and be sure to include the author's name in the same sentence. When you want to discuss information from a source without quoting it directly, it's important you rewrite that information in your own words. Along with citing the source, use different language and sentence structures, and explore the source's ideas from your own perspective. This strategy can help you say something new, original, and plagiarism-free. Plagiarism can seem like an easy shortcut that'll save you time and effort, but it will only hurt you in the long run. Be clear and upfront about where you get your information, and you'll be free to create original content you can be proud of.
GCF Global, creating opportunities for a better life.
As using someone else's words or ideas without crediting the source and pass it as your own. In research, it's okay to use other words and ideas, but you have to cite them. Committing plagiarism might save your time for a short while, but it comes with a high price. If you forget to cite your sources, even just one of them, you might accidentally commit plagiarism. One way to avoid plagiarism is to keep track of your sources you use along your research. It is a great way to make sure nothing slips through the cracks. And that's where citation comes in. Problem is, how are you going to include in-text citation in your paper if you don't know what exactly it entails? Let's get it covered then. In doing your research, you will come across this part as you are doing your paper. Words in the red mark is what we call in-text citation. An in-text citation is a concise way to identify the source of certain information. It helps the reader to locate the corresponding entry in the reference list at the end of your paper. Citations impact the credibility of the author as well as their research. Properly using citations is important for authors because it gives your reader the comfort of knowing the research presented to them is from credible and published sources. Now, there are two ways to integrate the in-text citation: parenthetical and narrative. For parenthetical citation, we write the author's name and publication year within the parentheses and place it at the end of the sentences just before the period. For narrative citations, some information is incorporated in the running text. As you can see in these two examples, the year and the page number are placed within the parentheses. It's either placed right after the author's name or at the end of the sentence just before the period. For the next example, the author's name is in the text of the sentence. The page number is at the end of the sentence. Always include in-text citations when you summarize, paraphrase, or quote from another source. For every in-text citation in your paper, there must be a corresponding entry in your reference list. APA in-text citation uses the author's last name and the year of publication. For direct quotations, include the page number as well. For sources such as website and e-books that have no page number, use a paragraph number. When your citation contains multiple authors, it can be quite confusing. If your source has two authors, you use an ampersand between them, followed by the year. If your source has 3 to 5 authors, then for the first citation, list out all the authors and only use ampersand for the final one. From the second citation onwards, you only need the first author's name followed by et al., which means and others. And if a source has 6 or more authors, use et al. Right from the first citation. Don't forget the comma. In the 7th edition, the in-text citation for works with 3 or more authors is shortened right from the first citation using et al. Sometimes, you just can't find all the information you need to cite. Luckily, there are some guidelines for this. If the author is unknown, but you know the organization where it came from, then you should use the organization name. If you don't, then use the title. When using the title, format it the same way as in the reference list, so either in italics or in double quotation marks. You might also come across sources without publication year. In that case, use ND for no date. If your source doesn't have page number, include a chapter or paragraph number instead. With the rules I just mentioned, dealing with in-text citation should be smooth sailing from here. Let's check if you really understand. Booster exercise will be given, and again, you have 5 seconds to write your answer in the comment box after giving you the question. Let the booster exercise begin. Booster exercise number 1. What format do you follow in using APA citation? A. The author date format. B. The author publication company format. C. The author page number format. The answer, letter A, the author date format. Next, booster exercise number 2. Select the statement that is true about APA formatted citations. A. The in-text citation is a concise way to identify the source of certain information. B. There are 3 ways to integrate the in-text citations: parenthetical, narrative, and simple. Letter C. If you have 2 authors, you list all out the authors and use comma between them. The answer? It's letter B. Booster exercise number 3. Select the statement that is false for APA formative citations. A. Parenthetical citation use the author's name and publication year within the parentheses and place it at the beginning of sentences. B. If a source has 6 or more authors, use et al. Right from the first citation. Letter C. Use ND if the source is without publication year. The answer? It's letter A. Booster exercise number 4. An in-text citation should be used, is it A, at the end of each page? B, whenever you get your source from another source? C, at the beginning of each paragraph? The answer? It's letter B. Booster exercise number 5. Why do we need to include citations in academic research? A. To avoid plagiarism and give credit to the original source. B. It gives credibility since it's provide way to look for the original source. Letter C. Both A and B. The answer? It's letter C. Guess you are all set for now. I can see that you're getting the hook of it. Kudos for that. To wrap up today's learning engagement, we have come up with the following. Number 1, we identify and give important key points about plagiarism. Number 2, we thoroughly explain what citation is, the parenthetical and narrative citation. Number 3, we also identify the guidelines we need to follow in citing the sources. If you have questions for today's topic, I will be more than happy to address your queries. You will be given a minute to throw your questions, and our moderator will choose 3. So type in your questions now on our comment box, and I will answer them after a minute. Your time is up, my dear grade 10 learners. Let us now read the first question coming from our virtual learner from Dalandan National High School. How is plagiarism detected? In our case, your teacher might notice plagiarism if the tone or style of the text change between passages or if they have come across with a source that's been plagiarized. There are also plagiarism checker software or tools available on the search engines, both paid or free. These plagiarism checkers are easy to use. It can detect identical or similar content, whether it's a sentence, paragraph, or idea. It also shows the percentage of the duplicate content and original content. These plagiarism checker tools also help students rectify their flaws if they have unintentionally used someone else's work. Question number 2 is from Wawang Polo National High School. Does everything need to be cited? There are certain things that do not need documentation or credit, including writing your own experiences and observations, insights, your own thoughts, and your own conclusion about a subject. When you are writing your own results obtained through lab or field experiments. When you use your own artwork, digital photographs, video, and audio. When you are using common knowledge, things like folklore, common sense observation, myths, urban legends, and historical events. When you are using generally accepted facts, including facts that are accepted with particular discourse. Can you give a list of sources that needs to be cited? It's my pleasure, of course. But just as I've said, you always give credit where credit is due. If the words you are including in your research belong to someone else, give credit. However, this is the list of what needs to be credited or documented. Words or ideas presented in magazine, book, newspaper, song, TV program, movie, website, computer program, letter, advertisement, or other medium. Information you gain through interviewing or conversing with other person, face-to-face, over the phone, or in writing. When you copy the exact words or a unique phrase. When you reprint any diagrams, illustration, charts, pictures, or any other visual materials. And last, when you reuse or repost any digital media, including images, audio, video, or other media. Thank you so much for actively participating in our question and answer. Since our topic is about citing sources, let me acknowledge additional sources that I have used for today's engagement. Now here is the link. Now it's your turn to answer what's more of your learning pocket on page 11. I'm sure you would be able to answer and complete the task. For added info and answered queries about plagiarism and in-text citations, your English language teacher would be more than happy to assist you. Before we end, I would like to thank our technical support teacher and teacher moderator for their contribution in making this learning engagement a success. It is a pleasure indeed to have you today in our virtual engagement. I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed our activity. This has been Teacher Eileen, happy to be at your service at English Valenzuela Live is now officially signing off. Keep safe, God bless, and continue to nurture learning at all times. Because here in Valenzuela, anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon.